What? You scared me. Well, hello, everybody. No, 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 no. Say, everybody, I'm back. This is going to be part two of the lesson, which I call stress free from the coronavirus. But actually, you could use this further. I'm sure coronavirus is going to vanish soon. I feel it, you know? So we have to remain positive. Today, it's going to be very cool, very smooth and fast. Again, um, this painting is going to be the painting of a seascape. A lot of people have difficulties with seascapes, assuming it's like a magic or something. No, it's technique. Art, anything that's difficult in art is called technique. Technique, mon vieux, technique, c'est ça seulement. Ça seulement, technique, c'est là. Il fallut la technique. Okay. Hello, bonjour. Um, so I'm using the same paint I used for the last painting. The only thing I added was blue. So my plate is always cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I keep using that. I think I'm gonna get sued soon. I have no idea why I use that. But anyway, that's my age time, big long story. So this lesson is gonna be fast paced again. As we begin the seascape, we're gonna create a sky. Opa! You're gonna do a little sky, maybe we'll throw a little bit of a yellowish color in the sky just because we can, right? And as always, after you do this part, remember the horizon is gonna be here for the seascape. Or you could have it higher if you like, right? But the reason we have a sort of a line so you know where you are, to give you a straighter version. But you don't have to, you could play it by eye. By eye, get it? So I'm gonna take this white paint, I've just taken a nice scoop of white paint, and these colors are gonna go wild. Mind you, this is the ocean. If this was a lake of some sort, notice I didn't go back. Never, never go back. That's what I tell my after school program. Speaking of after school program, you guys better get a canvas right now. Now. So they love it for that. So I need white paint. I need more white paint. Never mind. I'm getting more white paint. You see, this is just, I got white paint. This is how natural this is. I'm not setting this up. This is me painting. And this is for you guys, right? So I'm adding, you see how the sky is creating itself without any efforts. The sky is actually creating itself, again, without any efforts. So the key to this is never go back. If you go back, you're going to redefine what you've already created, right? So let me show you what I mean by that. If I go back to this magnificent thing that's happening here, it's gonna be something else. It might even be more magnificent, but never go back. That's what I say. So, now what I've just done on top here, on the half part of the canvas, is going to be repeated down here, except though, down here is gonna be repeated only in blue, right? Because only afterwards we're going to come back and start adding waves of sorts. So you, the reason you want it to be a little darker, it's a nice seascape, but you want to give it some sort of a dark, we might even put some sand if you want to be, go to the beach or anything. But we're just gonna go wildly. So I'm just gonna add a darker version of the top, right? The reason why, you're gonna see in a few seconds. Notice I'm adding any color that comes on my canvas. I'm just going crazy. How do you like my little towel thing, right? Dollar store for you, baby. If it's not the dollar store, it's the other place I don't want to say. I don't want to give you my secrets. A dollar. So anyway, I'm crazy, but don't mind me. So anyway, so you have the ocean now. Now, while this is getting a little dry, you want it to dry because this is dark and it's gonna have all sorts of highlights. And these highlights are gonna consist of some definitions that are coming from up here. You can just throw them on like this, right? Just take a little bit of white, right? Maybe dry it off your plate and wash, 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 right? So it gives you the feel of you can get seasick. You get seasick on you. I can swim, so I might need water. So now I'm going to show you a nice trick. Put your brushes in your cup. Put your brushes in your cup. I'm going to show you a trick. You're going to take a towel paper, towel paper, very nice. Thank you. You're gonna take this towel paper, create a nice little circle, nice. So you're gonna create perhaps maybe a nice little setup of maybe the sun wants to go up or something. So you're gonna erase it right off your canvas. You could do this. Why? Why can you do this right now? Is this centered? Yes. You could do this now because this is still wet. That's the beauty of painting wet. And I could even use that same paper to create some waves that are going to be there in the future, right? You didn't know about that one, did you? So you're gonna take a smaller brush. Let me show you the brush we're gonna use. I didn't show you the brushes, but if you saw the first lesson, you already know what we are using. So we're gonna use this little brush, which I call the medium brush. The kids call it Twinkle. Yes, I remember the name, I'm glad. Twinkle, that's what the kids call it here. So you have the option. I know it's not sunny, but you have the option to make the painting whatever color you want. This painting could have been orange, it could have been red, it could have been blue, it could have been, if it was red, it'd be cool, it'd be pop art, you know, pop, you know, pink, it could be any color you want. Okay. So I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white together. So whenever you add colors, it's good to add them together. Instead of mixing them on your plate, you mix them on the canvas. There. Yes. I'm gonna put a little bit of highlight. A little bit of a highlight. Oh, look at me. I'm going slow. Look at me going slow. As usual. As usual. So the same color, the same combo. And this time I'm gonna hold my brush this way. See? I'm gonna go right underneath the sun or the moon, whatever you wanna call it. That's the sun. It's yellow from the thing about it. So watch what I've just done. I'm gonna turn my brush around as I move back and forth. Move back and forth like this. Move back and forth, move back and forth. Move back and forth, move back and forth. You're gonna take paint and yellow and this is the reflection of the sun. So we're gonna let this dry. In your case, let it dry for 10 minutes. The reason you're letting it dry for 10 minutes is so that when you go back with the next layer, right? You could either do it with your finger, for example. If I wanted to add a little more cloud, I could use my finger. A little bit of white. Now this area is probably dry, a little bit of dry. Remember I said never go back, never. But you can go back after it dries, because now you can't destroy it. Yeah. So I'm adding on now wet on dry. Right? I'm adding a little bit of cloud formation, a little cloud. You know, it's even touching the sun a little bit. The sun's maybe behind clouds. Right, giving it love, make a little love. There's a little love around tonight. Oh, something like that. So I'm using my finger, people. Yes, use your fingers. And notice, with my dirty fingers, I'm able to capture some of the yellow effect onto this. And I'm gonna go right in the water and destroying what I've done already with white. White as acting as a U. Notice again, I'm glad I'm doing this, the detail has nothing to do with, this is Impressionism. I'm teaching you Impressionism. It's a sense of stress. And you could even challenge, if you're husband and wives, please get 2 canvases, put one alongside each other. You could make this sun bigger, right? So, and you each do the same thing, except though it's gonna be one painting, you know? So it keeps you bonded. So while this is drying, I'm gonna do something crazy that I don't usually do. This is drying. I'm purposely letting it dry because I want to show you how to make waves. You didn't know about that, did you? So, as this dry, ladies and gentlemen. No music today for you. Let me fix my hat. How do I look? Okay, this painting is already dry. Ah, yes. I used to make my mom laugh so hard about it. Let me tell you a joke about my mother while we guys are waiting for this to dry. My mother got this job, right? in New York, in Brooklyn, New York. She looked in the New York Times and got a job. She got the job as a babysitter. So beautiful. She's gone. She took off. She took the train, the D train, get off Manhattan, and goes to the lady, you know. Say, ma'am, I'm here to insert the ad in the paper. And the lady said, oh, yes, very good. We are so happy you are here. We have two wonderful children, and they are very nice. They behave, well behaved, etc. My mom, oh, very good. I'm so happy. I'm very happy, very happy. So they went and got the two kids, you know. The parents went and got the kids. My mother is stunned out of her mind because the two kids happened to be two Great Dane, two giant Great Dane. So when the Great Danes came, this is drawing, okay? When the Great Danes came out, my mother is petrified of dogs. Remember the lion, right? Oh my God! Good doggies, very good doggies. So the lady left, right? She went to do, I guess, wherever she wanted to go with her husband. So my mother's in a room. Thank God it's on the first floor. So my mother is backing out backwards, right? Very good doggies, very good dogs. And open the window, very good. And the dogs, woof, 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 woof. Very good dog. She put her leg over the window ledge. Oh, very good doggy, very good, very good. And took off. I said, Mom, you left the kids alone. She said, there were no kids, there were big doggies. They could take care of themselves. Okay, back to work. I choked from saliva, not corona. Okay, party on. No, okay, now you can get to see me use my beautiful. Huh? Yeah, you like this technique? I didn't use it on my shirt instead. So okay. So the next lesson is to show you how to create waves. So mind you, remember what we used, the technique we used with the paper, wiping away some of the paint, right? So I'm gonna go right above the light areas with some pure white now that it's dry, and I'm gonna bring the brush this way. Look, wash. In other words, like this. Check it out. I hope you can see. I'm bringing it over the shadow, right? You're creating a little bit of waves. So I want some wave here, right? A little wave. And one stroke, please. Don't go back several times, because when you go back several times, you just destroyed your painting. Because when you go back several times, the paint doesn't act the same anymore, because you've just blended everything where you don't want blending. So remember, wherever you had accidentally, if you will, wiped away anything that you wiped away, it is now becoming a wave. And waves have this tendency to splash, right? So you want them to have a curvature. Almost, I might have too much of it now. And your horizon, always make it nice and smooth, almost like you can't see where it's coming from. And you're gonna start again with some beautiful highlights from the sun that are just maybe yellow. You could just maybe throw some yellow. Now that your colors are dry, the paint is dry, you're going to be able to, voila, that's it. You're gonna leave this alone. I think it's time. It's almost 15 minutes. Huh? Have fun with this. Put a boat in there, put a mountain, you know. If you do this with your husband, make the sun bigger. So 1/2 of the canvas, you know, husband and wife, or couples, or boyfriend, girlfriends, etc., partners. 1/2 of the canvas, so one canvas for you, one canvas for her, for him or her, etc. And then you create a painting. You just use that, and it's stress-free, and maybe you drink some wine together. You won't even remember there is corona. So, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do 2 more, because then I won't be able to come to my studio, and my garage, it's full of cars, so I'm not going to be able to do that either. I'll be painting my car. So I have to find my own means of stress. Stress-free!